Hi there. So in this tutorial, we're going to learn how we can create multiple boxes for a single order, then wash them in a batch of 100. There can be multiple items from different orders, and then we have to sort them again on a pallet and put those boxes and do the sorting. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to create a new model, and we're going to create some elements, which is going to be the arrival QE. So let's call it arrival queue where the items are going to generate from here. Let's say they're just going to come here in on QE1, and from QE1 they're going to go into washing. So let's call it washing QE, and from washing QE we are going to move them to the sorting. So we're just going to make the sorting a little bigger. Okay, once you have done that, you are going to create a general process flow. First thing, we're going to get schedule source, and in the schedule source we're going to specify the arrivals. So let's just use a different types of source this time. Let's use a date time source so we can learn a new thing. So in the edit arrivals, we are going to have two rows, and we are going to specify when, how much quantity of items or tokens it's going to generate. So we are assigning 50 and 50, a total of 100. So now after so now we are going to assign a variable or a label which is going to be called as order number. So this is going to be token index. Okay, so from here we are going to generate the object or the product. So create object. Okay, let's just connect the source with the create object, and in the create object we're going to create the boxes. Quantity, we're going to do it by percentage. So let's say 25% of the time it's going to generate one box, then another 25 is going to generate around 5 box, another 50% is going to generate around 10 box. Okay, so now we are going to assign another label to created objects. First thing, we're going to create the boxes in the arrival queue. Okay, and then we are going to assign the order number to each item, which is going to be token dot order number. Okay, so after that we are going to use a custom code to change how the boxes look. We are going to rename this to change colors, and we are going to update the quantity level. Okay, so we are going to use a code snippet. So here we are going to change the color. So we are going to call for a for the local variable, which is going to be called as color val, which is going to contain the color. We are going to use a random color, get stream activity. Okay, we are going to close it with a semi-inverted comma, and then we are going to call for an array. We are going to name the array as items, and it's going to contain the items that are being generated from this token. So we have already updated that to here. So we're just going to change it to token.items. Okay, so now In this snippet, we have generated the array which contains all the items that are generated by this token. So now we are going to call for a for loop for integer I equals to 1, I is less than or equals to tokens dot items dot length. We're going to increment the I value. Then we are going to call for the object which is going to be the individual items or the boxes. So we're going to call that using the I. Next thing, we are going to assign the color. Object dot color equals to whatever color we decided here, the random color. From here, we are going to assign a label. Okay, so that's the end of the change colors. Now we are going to move the boxes to the washing queue. Okay, so after the order creation, we are going to do a batch of 100 and we are going to move the object to the washing queue, and from there the washing is going to take place for 30 seconds. So there's a new flow. So after washing, we are going to move the object to the sorting. Okay, so this is going to become token.items because we renamed it here. Token.items, move the batch. Okay, move batch to sorting queue. So this one, we are going to rename this to sorting queue. So now let's move the items to the sorting queue. Okay, and this will be the end of this flow. So let's take another container. Okay, so now we are going to do the flow for the sorting. Firstly, we want a list, a global list. So we are going to create a global list, which is going to be an item list. So this is okay. So we're going to click OK, and now okay. So item list. Okay, so now we want the items to be pushed into here, the boxes. So whenever the boxes are going to enter this queue, I want to populate this item list. So now on entry, let's see where we can find that list, push to list. Yeah, so push to list, The list name is going to be item list 1. Push value is going to be item. Okay, so instead of doing it on the entry, let's do it for the output. So push, let's see where that is. Push to item list. Okay, it is the item list 1. Now we are going to pull from the list. Okay, so the list is going to be this one. So the request number, required number, we are going to use the token variables. So the request number is going to be token dot the length of the items. Okay, so length, it's going to be the request number, request num. Okay, and it's going to be called into token dot pulled. We are going to use a query. So let's see if they gave us something. Where, yeah, so we are going to use where order number. Where did it go? Okay, where order number is going to be equals to puller dot order number. So we didn't define any puller. So let's see where we can put that. Okay, we don't need to do that. So puller order number. Okay, because in the list they also have the same variable order number. So now in the batch, we want to add a label aggregation. Normally it was called as item, so we're going to change it to items. So we are going to make an array. So after pulling from the list, we are going to give a small delay. In the breathe, we are going to create a pallet on top of which we are going to store the boxes. So now let's take a floor storage. Okay, so let's call this create pallet, and we are going to create this pallet in here in the floor storage, and we are going to move the boxes on top of this pallet. Token dot items, destination is token dot pallet. Mm, so we are going to make this pallet. And that should be the end of this flow. Let's take another container. Okay, so in the create token sorting, the destination is going to be here, and yeah, that should do it. Let's just run it. Let's see what happens. So we have specified uh, one, I guess. Let's do it 8. Okay, let's just go a little faster. Okay, so destination has not been set. So here the destination is going to be batch 100. The quantity is going to be the boxes actually. So this is going to become token dot items dot length. Okay, and we are going to assign a label here called as item, and we are going to token dot items creation rank. Okay, so this will generate the token here. Okay, now I can see it's coming here, but what I can't see is the palette. So I did create a palette here. So it's also a box. So let's just change the flow item to a palette. This flow storage is looking a little odd. Let's just delete it. Let's create another one. Okay, so palette is here, and the create palette is throwing an error. Let's see what's the issue. Token palette quantity. Okay, so so now I can see uh, all the orders have been sorted here. Okay, so that's it. So what we did, we created some tokens here and we created some boxes randomly. Then we created the order number, then we changed the color and the quantity label, order quantity, and then we push the tokens in washing and sorting. Then from washing and sorting, they moved, they created the palette, and then we moved the boxes on top of those palette. So in the list, we looked for the items, and then we just created a palette, and we moved the boxes on top of that palette. Okay, so since we have got 100, so if I change the batch size to 25, all the items can be processed. Okay, okay, nice. So that's it. In this tutorial, we learned how to uh, create tokens, then create the object from that token, change the color, create some tokens and push them to the different flows, and then pull the boxes, create the palette, and sort the boxes on top of that palette. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and in the next video, we are going to learn something new. So until that time, have a good day and thank you for watching this.